department, unlike any place in Los Angeles Unified, as you will see tonight. So I just want to thank all staff, administration, teachers, everyone, and some of the teachers are playing in the band. You're going to really love it. A little bit about Working. So for those of you who don't know, Working is based on a book of interviews by Studs Terkel that was a bestseller in the 70s. And it was really interesting because no one had really realized at that time what other people's daily work was. And I think the theme, one of the main themes of the play, and I think it's something that we all, those of us who work regular day jobs, who aren't TikTok famous, those of us who are not that, we don't always get the acknowledgement that we feel that we need, or just people being aware of what we do. So one of the big themes is like what I do is important for myself and other people, and maybe only a few other people, but it's here to be acknowledged. So the only thing I want to tell you is that we will have a 12-minute intermission between acts. Bathrooms are left and right, and we're just really proud of this show, and we're really proud to share it. Enjoy Working.
In 1974, Chicago radio broadcaster Studs Terkel published a best-selling compilation of interviews with a cross-section of Americans talking about their jobs.
These are their words.
The waitress singing, the mail worker singing, the manager singing,
The barman singing,
each one singing, the teacher,
the trucker,
the hooker, the housewife.
I hear America singing, America singing.
I feel like Carmen in a way, like a gypsy, holding out a tambourine and they throw their coins.
Easy. Hey, you want a burger? I need some pictures of the burger.
Hey, somebody, don't you want to hear the story of my life? One of them movie companies, TV documentaries. Won't you come and ask me, please? And pay me $1 million. Tell you what I do at the store. If you pay me $1 million, I wouldn't have to go and do it no more.
1, 2, 3, 4. Just like the song say, all the live long day. Everybody gonna know that song. Working for a living the whole day long, all the live long day. Hey, somebody, won't you turn your head? Take a look my way.
I'm getting old and I tell you,
Getting old ain't nothing new.
start again and you'll know.
See my old town
Monday, rain or shine.
Monday, and another cup of coffee, get the juices flowing. Another cup of coffee, get the juices flowing. Another cup of coffee, get the juices flowing. That's 1, 2, 3, get going. Just like the song say, all the live long day. Everybody gonna know that song. Working for a living the whole day long, all the live long. Just like the song say, all the live long. Just like the song say, all the live long. Just like the song say, all the live long. Just like the song say, all the live long day. Everybody gonna know that song. Working for a living the whole day long.
I'm a dying breed. A laborer. Strictly muscle work. Pick it up, put it down. Pick it up, put it down. Pick it up and put it down again. Typically in the morning, you wait at the shanty until 7 o'clock. You go in at 7, then you start making your way up the ladder, climbing up the steel. Every 2 floors, you plank it off. Then you disconnect the bottom of the mast and tie it to the boom on top of the choking cable. Then you do it again and pick it up on the other side. I started working structural steel when I was about 18 years old. I've worked on buildings probably 1,000 feet high. Most people are afraid of heights like that, so automatically every ironworker has an ego. You're doing something somebody else can't do, and you get to wear a tool belt. When you're a kid, 18 years old, and you have your wrenches in like a holster, you're like a cowboy. But I always knew I was going to be an ironworker. My older brothers were ironworkers. My father was an ironworker. So it was just a natural course of events. Let's just say my father was very disappointed I didn't go to college. We had a college boy at work this summer. One time he saw a book in my back pocket and he was amazed. He said, "You read? That's what gets to you. The non-recognition by other people. To say a man is just a laborer, a woman is just a waitress, it can get to you sometimes." Some mornings I look across the skyline for a building I worked on. Say that office building over there. See that building? I helped build it. And I know some guy is sitting in his corner office behind his $5,000 desk, and he's never going to think about me. But yeah, I think about him sometimes. Amanda, where's the P&L report?
It's on your desk.
Why is it not in my hand?
I'm a project manager. I'm here at work at 7:30 a.m. I leave at 8 p.m. In between my meetings, I answer messages and emails and try to avoid my boss. You always have a boss. Sometimes you have an okay boss, and sometimes you have Satan boss. He's not behind me, is he? I wish these walls were like a little bit higher. I've been in a lot of different cubicles. I've been in the high wall cubes, in the half-height cubes. But listen, the way things are these days, I'm glad to be in a cubicle at all. I have friends who would kill for this job. For any job.
I paper the walls of my cubicle with posters. I bring in fresh flowers by my favorite ceramic lamp. This little collection of things on top of my computer, I call them computer gods. I guess I had more decorations than I thought. But you know, in a cubicle, things like glow-in-the-dark skeletons go a long way.
Sharing a cubicle is sort of like sharing a bathroom stall. It doesn't matter how those sides are or how big it is. You're still in there with someone else. In a not sexy way.
I could see the programmer in the cubicle next to me through a reflection in a window. Sometimes I could see a reflection and see what she's doing. Quite often, she's emailing jokes to her sister. I also acquired a webcam, and I set it up so it points behind me. And I have a little window on my computer, which is the webcam picture. So if someone walks behind me, I could see them.
I grew up expecting I would get out of college and make $1 million. I grew up expecting that somebody would just deliver a Mercedes to my front door. It's been quite a rude awakening. This is the first time in 4 generations that I have it worse than my parents.
Jobs are not big enough for people. If you ask most people who they are, they always define themselves by their jobs. I'm a doctor. I'm a carpenter. I'm a sportscaster. But if you ask me, I'd say, I'm Amanda McKinney. At certain points in time, I do things for a living. My mentality is totally different than the people who are 20 years older, the lifers. I have no real sense of loyalty because I know they have a business to run and they'll lay me off if it's prudent. I accept that. I don't perceive anyone my age thinks, I got a job for life. What they feel is, all right, I'm going to get as much as I can from this company, then I'm going to move and get more money. But this It's just the first job of many.
This is my first job. I smell like a burger. The register is easy. Hey, you want a burger? I hit the picture of the burger. Every day, the same old thing. Hello, chicken nugget, bread pounder. And I wait for that phone to ring, that phone to ring. Phone at the end of the counter. When I see the manager writing down an order. When I see the manager making change. When I see the manager writing an address, I whisper, yes, give me some change and send me on my way. Okay, I'm off on a delivery and I'm finally on my own.
Off on a delivery.
Delivering peace and I'm headed to parts unknown.
Off on a delivery, delivery.
Fresh air and exercise. Sometimes I'll throw in some extra fries. For calling it in today, my world is great until they send me away on a delivery. Now the wind is in my head.
Off on a delivery.
No one's watching me. I can wander anywhere. It's getting cold and so I'll do as I am told. Responsibilities. I have responsibilities. See, my father sits at home. He doesn't work anymore. While my mother works a double shift at the department store. And it's nice not have to ask for money. And it's nice not have to ask for dinner. And it's nice on nights when you have to get away.
I need delivery.
I go to work every day and putting money away. Hey, you know what they say, slow and steady. I'm making minimum wage, it's pretty quick for my age. If I can manage to save,
I'll be ready to go.
wherever I gotta go. Every Disney leads me. For now the restaurant feeds me, and my family needs me. Delivery! Yes! The customer's always right.
Where's my delivery? My delivery.
Thanks for getting me out of the house tonight.
Where's my delivery?
Keep the order straight, and I say sorry if I'm late.
You're late.
Some extra napkins for your plate for making you wait. That'll be
$12.98
$12.98
delivery.
And I can wander out of range.
Here's my delivery. My delivery.
Towards a future new and strange.
delivery.
This job is just the start. But wait, I haven't told you my favorite part. It's when they pay, and then they say,
Screw it. Keep the change.
keep the change.
Keep the change.
Keep the
Keep the
change.
change.
Keep the change. And bit by bit, I keep the change.
Delivery.
If I save a little every day,
Delivery. Delivery.
this job's gonna deliver me far away.
Delivery. Delivery.
And I'll look back on this and say, thank God for
Delivery.
I'm a dying breed. I'm a guy who likes to work. Some people enjoy tennis. I enjoy work. I enjoy being a leader. I enjoy being the guy everyone looks to. I like having the responsibility of having a team of people working for me. In our world of money, money management is still the sexiest job there is. Ask any girl at the East Side Blank Club. Money is hot. True story. They did a study that found that just looking at a Maserati made girls produce twice as many hormones as normal. Oh yeah, if you want to call me a shallow douchebag, a corporate tool, a freaking robber baron, I take that as a compliment. Abso-fucking-lutely. That's what this country's about. The free market. It's not perfect, but if they just leave it alone, it would sure as hell correct itself better than any regulator can. Yeah, some companies will go away. Some people will lose money, some people will lose jobs, but that's just basic capitalism. Who developed America? The regulators? The SEC? Or was it the Mellons, the Rockefellers? I mean, tell me what they did wrong. Rockefeller exploited some workers in the copper field. Maybe he shot some of them. Okay, not perfect. But who benefited? There's still Standard Oil, isn't there? Mellon Bank's still around. Listen, how many charities were started by these people? How many museums, theaters, national parks are here for us to enjoy thanks to the robber barons? These are the giants who built our city, built our countries. Unless you have losers, you cannot have winners. Hold on, I gotta take this. Hello? Yeah, give me 5 minutes. All right. I'm gonna have to cut this short. I gotta get back on the phone before markets close overseas. Everybody works long hours these days. Kids wants to make it, he's gotta be willing to work long hours. And he's gotta be able to outsmart the regulators to make a profit. It's easy, Christ, if you can't outsmart one little government staff, you shouldn't come to work in the morning. But I should be their teacher, you know? I've always wanted to teach. That's what I like to do when I get tired of all this. Get involved with young people. Pass on my knowledge, my experience, my values.
Good morning, Hernando. How are you? Good morning, Selena. I missed you. In your heart, you may have a certain dislike for a certain child, but you force yourself to say, "Good morning, Manuel. How are you?" Someone forgot to take his Ritalin this morning. My name is Rose Hoffman. I teach the 3rd grade. At 9:15, we start with arithmetic. I have tables fun on the board, multiplication. You don't say tables, you say tables fun. Everything has to be fun, fun, fun. I tell my children, Mrs. Hoffman's here. Everybody works. Working is a blessing. In the old days, I would have 18 to 20 children from my class from the beginning bell to the very end. Today, I have 37 in my class. The children come in, play with their cell phones, and then leave for computer lab, art therapy. Oh yes, I've seen great changes since I began teaching on January 6, 1987. January 6, 1987. My students back then were Polish primary. I loved the Polish people. They worked hard. My classroom was always a showcase. In those days, we did it ourselves, with colorful pictures and charts on the walls, a snowman in winter, a pumpkin in fall, and all my supplies were in neat little piles on the shelves. My children were always examples. When the principal came, they would rise. If I had to leave them a minute or two, they'd always found something constructive to do. And everyone sat on their places according to size. But kids don't know how to behave anymore. Ask them to rise and they'll ask you what for. We'd confiscate weapons and drugs at the door. No spitballs in comic books now. They want me to teach in a classroom like that, but nobody tells me how. Back then, we actually taught English. Not English as a second language. I'm shocked that English is the second language. When my parents came over, they didn't learn Jewish as their first language at the taxpayers' expense. They didn't have problems with focus, but discipline. Of course, back then we had the paddle. Oh yes, I'm a big believer in corporal punishment. it builds respect and trust. I made a big thing about spelling, but they learned by the time I got through. They'd copy the words till they knew them by heart. 10 times for the dumb ones and twice for the smart. And gold stars were given to those who made sentences too. But why bother teaching them spelling today? Nobody knows how to read anyway. How can you spell what you can't even say? It's se habla español now. The way I've been teaching for 40-some years is no longer effective, or so it appears. Well, damn it, it worked for me then, so what's wrong with it now? They say I'm supposed to keep up with the times, but nobody ever tells me how. There is this one girl who stands out in my mind out of all my years of teaching. My favorite. She wasn't very bright, but she was never any trouble. I see her every once in a while. She causes no trouble today either. She has the same smile for everyone.
The first 2 months I started flying, I had already been to New York, London, and Paris, which is pretty huge when you're from Kankakee, Illinois. But after you start working for the airlines, it's actually not as glamorous as you thought it was going to be. Sometimes people just get nasty. I mean, they're harassed by security and then they get delivered to us. And your shining personality can only go so far. We get scared sometimes too. I mean, I've never yet been so scared that I didn't want to get on the plane, but there have been times at takeoffs where there's been something funny. One time, I was working first class and we had a load full of passengers, and the captain tells me we're gonna have to make an emergency landing in Chicago because we lost the pin out of the nose gear. When we land, the nose gear is gonna collapse. So he wants me to prepare the whole cabin for this landing, but not for another 2 hours. And not to tell the other flight attendants because they're new and would get all excited. So I had to keep this in me for 2 hours. And I'm wondering, am I gonna die? And I'm serving drinks and food. And this guy gets mad at me because his omelet's too cold. I was gonna say, you just wait, buddy. You're not gonna have to worry about that fucking omelet. When I first told my parents I was going into the airlines, they got so excited. My mother especially thought it would be great that I could have the ambition, the nerve to go to the city on my own and try to accomplish something. Really, I just wanted to get out of Kankakee.
If you want to have a thrill, there's no comparison, not even to a jet plane. Then climbing onto that steel truck and going out there on the Dan Ryan Expressway. And the adrenaline starts pumping. Breaking number 9, big buddy, put your ears on for me now. Big truck is gonna have a big life. So come on, brother trucker, you better come back, mother. Keep seeing double, lest I close one eye. I've got to roll, 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 brother trucker. Sure enough ashamed about the shape I'm in. Roll, 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 brother trucker. I'm back on my wheels again. Roll, 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 brother trucker. Outward bound to Southwood Bend. Roll, 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 brother trucker. I'm back on my wheels again. I'm running out of white. Goddamn dim those headlights. Fall asleep for the past 2 nights, but I'm gonna be alright. I've got to roll, 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 brother trucker. I say where and you say when. Roll, 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 brother trucker. I'm back on my wheels again. I got to roll, 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 brother trucker. Back it on up and do it again. Roll, 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 brother trucker. I'm back on my wheels again. You sit in that truck. Your only companionship is your own thoughts. and you don't want to get stuck thinking about your problems at home, so you turn up the radio. If you can play it loud enough to hear over the engine. Yeah, we truckers fantasize something tremendous. You think about the girl behind that voice, and you start to build up something in your mind until you begin to believe it. Moon over New Jersey, big state police. I'm in a hurry. Won't you let me go in peace? I'm independent. I ain't got no teams to do. Cause it ain't for bail in the CIO. They spit all on the road.
And the only man telling me where to go is the man who owns the road. Roll, 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 brother trucker.
I say where and you say when.
Roll, 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 brother trucker.
I'm back on my wheels again.
I said roll, 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 brother trucker.
Jack it on up and do it again.
Roll, 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 brother trucker.
I'm back on my wheels again. Back on my wheels again. Roll, 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 brother trucker. Back it on up and do it again. Roll, 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 brother trucker. Back on my wheels again. Back on my wheels again. Coming home to your wife can be sort of a letdown. She has to raise the kids. She has to fight off the bill collectors. When you do go home, you're so tired you'd rather be sleeping than getting ready to go out on a Saturday night. I make 2 round trips to Evansville and pass within 4 blocks of my house and never go home. It's better just call and tell her you're not coming home. Honey, hello? Effing phone company.
Verizon Tech Support. This is Johnny. How may I help you?
Yeah, this number isn't working and I have like 5 bars.
I'm sorry you're having trouble, sir. May I have the number you were calling?
Yeah, 210-719-5910.
I'm sorry, sir. All circuits in your area are busy. So
What? I can't understand anything you're saying.
I'm sorry, sir. Why don't you wait 5 minutes, then place your call again? Huh. You'd think they'd be grateful to get a live person instead of a computer. Sometimes you really want to talk to them if they sound upset. For me, it's a temptation to say, gee, what's the matter? But you can't say more than, I'm sorry you're having trouble. If you get caught talking to a customer, that's 1 mark against you. 3 marks in your... One woman said to me, Operator, I'm lonesome. Will you talk to me? I said, gee, I'm sorry, I just can't. But you can't. I'm a communications person and I can't communicate.
So, I've always thought receptionists as a loser sitting at the front of the desk taking phone messages. Now, I'm one. So, of course, I had to change my opinion. She had to be special, right? Because I'm so special. I was fine until we had this office party. I'd be having a fairly intelligent conversation with someone when they ask me what I did. When I say, I'm a receptionist, they make an excuse and walk away. So now I make up other words for what I do. Communications control, entry management.
It's
I'm tired
strange,
at the end
but
of the day.
you get tired of talking. My mouth gets tired because you talk constantly for 6 hours straight
There
without
isn't
a 10-minute
break in the day that's quiet.
You can't think about it.
What I do all
Everyone
day
is in a
what I
hurry
have
to
say
talk to
as
somebody
quickly
else,
as
but
possible.
not
I
to
switch
talk
the
to
call
you.
to whoever's going to.
You're in a
I
room the
notice
size of a
people
gymnasium,
ask me to slow
surrounded
down
by
when I'm
people
talking to
talking
them.
to people thousands of miles away.
I never listen on phone conversations.
Do I listen in on conversations?
But let me tell you,
Some people really do.
I once
Especially
worked
if
for
you're working late
AT&T,
at night.
and all
Sometimes
the,
the
girls to listen
people
on
on the
phone
line are
conversations.
so absurd.
I don't care who
You'll
you
sit
are,
there
if
and
you
laugh
work
until
late
there's tears
nights,
rolling down your
You're
face.
gonna listen on phone conversations.
It makes the night go faster.
Sometimes, to make the day go faster, I do little drawings, Mondrian sort of things. Never people. I pretend I'm alone and it's quiet. I call it the land of no phone.
I never answer the phone at home.
Hello? Oh, I'm sorry. No, thank you. My husband gets a paper at the office, and I read it online. No, I don't have an office. I don't work. I work. Of course I work. It's just I don't have a job. Anyways, thanks for the offer. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I guess in my Mother's Day, they would have called me a housewife. That's funny. It's not like I sit around watching soap operas all day. I have a lot of work to do. You just want something more exciting to talk about at a dinner party, you know? You know, something that matters. What I do only matters to 3 people. All I am is just a housewife. Nothing special, nothing great. What I do is kind of boring. If you'd rather, it can wait. All I am is someone's mother. All I am is someone's wife. All of which seems unimportant. All it is just my life. Do the laundry, wash the dishes, take the dog out, clean the house, shop for groceries, look for specials. God, it seems so Mickey Mouse. Drop the kids off, pick their shirts up, try to lose weight, try again. Keep the troops fed, pick their things up, lose your patience. Count to 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All I am is just a housewife, nothing great. What I do is out of fashion, what I feel is out of date. All I am is someone's mother, all I am is someone's wife, all of which seems unfulfilling. So the TV talk shows tell me every night. I don't mean to complain at all, but they make you feel like you're 2 feet tall when you're just a wife. All they see is the pots and pans and the Pepsi cans of a person's life. You're a whiz if you go to work, but you're just a jerk if you say you won't. People say that they think it's fine if the choice is mine, but you know they don't. What I do, what I choose to do may be dumb to you, but it's not to me. Is it dumb that they need me there? Is it dumb to care? 'Cause I do, you see. And I mean, did you ever think, really stop to think what a job it was? Doing all the things that a housewife does. I'm afraid it's unimpressive. All I am is someone's mother. Nothing special. What I do is unexciting. Kind of dull. Take the kids here, take the kids there. I don't mean to complain at all. Busy, busy. Every day. All I am is like my mother. Just a housewife.
UPS!
You don't just jump up behind someone and scream!
Sorry. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. You have to make excitement for yourself, you know. Where is he? Where is he? I've been bit once already by a Doberman. That's the biggest part of a dog's day when the UPS man comes. So when nobody's looking, you kick him down the street. Even if he just follows you, you try to get him for the one you missed a couple of houses back. Yeah, that's the big subject of conversation with us. Dogs and women. If you have a nice looking babe, that kind of brightens your day. We have a code we put in the system. We put a Q. That stands for cutie. If you see a nice little honey laying out there on her backyard in a two-piece bathing suit, she'd be laying on her stomach with her top strapped undone. If you go there and you scare her good enough, she'll jump up. It gives you something to do. It adds excitement to the day. UPS!
I didn't want to become a housewife like my mother and sister. Somehow I knew I wanted more out of life. I was 15, I was sitting in this coffee shop when a friend came by and said, "Yo, hurry up, I got a cab waiting. You can make $500 in 20 minutes. We went up to this penthouse. The guy up there was quite well known. He wanted to watch two women do it, and then he wanted to have sex with me. It was barely sex. He was almost finished by the time we started. It was a tremendous kick. I mean, there I was, doing nothing, feeling nothing. And in 20 minutes, I was going to walk out of there with $500 in my pocket. Just out of curiosity, how many people you know make $500 for 20 minutes work? And I was still in high school.
I think of myself as an upper-class working girl. The press calls me a socialite, which is just another name for a well-dressed fundraiser. To me, fundraising is like candy. You get to talk with fascinating people and promote causes you love. What could be more delicious than that? I began in the 80s. I gave a party in Washington, D.C. for Nicaraguan refugee children. It wasn't for the Contras, although I'm sure that would have been fun too. But fundraising is work. It's hard to separate people from their money. There's finesse when approaching a potential client. I never bring up money when I first meet someone. It's not like it's a secret. I mean, they know why I'm there. But sometimes I like to see how long I could go before I ask for a gift. Call me a tease.
It's a marketplace transaction. Somehow I managed to absorb that when I was quite young. I was a precocious child. Actually, I was sort of lonely. I didn't experience myself as being attractive. I mean, I didn't look like a Calvin Klein ad. But I was bright, and I didn't play by the rules. Guys were mostly scared of me. They didn't want to get involved emotionally, but they did want to screw. And for a while, I was willing to accept that. It was feeling intimacy. Feeling warm. Feeling.
The other day, I was riding around New York in a limousine during a hotel strike, and there was nowhere to go. And I thought, now I know what it feels like to be a bag lady. You can't just go around, pick up every homeless person you see and bring them home with you. But if you could help by saying something entertaining, you bring a light into their eyes. Maybe that's what the word socialite means.
You become your job. I've become a hustler. Even when I'm not hustling, I'm a hustler. What you do is what you are. I don't think it's so terribly different from somebody who works on an assembly line 40 hours a week and comes home cut off numb. People aren't built to switch on and off like water faucets.
I work in a luggage factory. We make suitcases. The tank I work at is 6 foot deep, 8 foot square. In 40 seconds, you have to take the wet felt out of the felter, put the blanket on to draw out the excess moisture, wait 2-3 seconds, take the blanket off, pick the wet felt up and balance it on your shoulder, reach over, get the hose, spray the inside of this copper screen, turn around, walk to the hot dry dye behind you, take the hot piece off and set it on the floor, put the wet piece on a dry dye, push this button. Inspect the piece we just took off, stack it, count it, 40 seconds. In the summertime, the temperature at our workstation ranges anywhere from 100 to 150 degrees. I've taken thermometers and checked it out. I have arthritis in the joints of my fingers, naturally in my shoulder balancing this wet piece. The hose will sometimes leak and spray back on you. The hydraulic presses leak, so you're slipping on oil. You have the possibility of being burnt every time the hot dye hits that wet felt. You're just engulfed in a cloud of steam every 40 seconds. The tanks run 24 hours a day. I work 8 straight hours with 2 10-minute breaks and 1 20-minute break for lunch. I find it difficult to eat my lunch at that length of time. 40 seconds. Granddad was a sailor and he blew in off the water. My father was a farmer and I his only daughter. I took up with a no-good mill-working man from Massachusetts who died from too much whiskey and leaves me these 3 faces to feed. Mill work ain't easy, mill work ain't hard. Mill work most often is a goddamn awful boring job, and I'm waiting for a daydream to take me through the morning, to put me in my coffee break so I can have my sandwich and remember it's me and my machine for the rest of the morning, for the rest of the afternoon, and the rest of my life. They can't keep men on the tanks. They say it's too monotonous. I think women adjust better to monotony than men because their minds are used to doing 2 things at once. Where a man can only think of 1 thing at a time. A woman can listen to a child while she's doing something else. It's the same way on the tanks. You get to be automatic in what you're doing and your mind is doing something else. My mind begins to wander to my days back on the farm, and I can see my father smiling at me, swinging on his arm, and I can hear my granddad's stories of the storms out on Lake Erie, vessels and cargoes, fortunes and sailors' lives were lost. It's my life has been wasted, and I have been a fool to let this manufacturer use my body for a tool. I ride home in the evenings, staring at my hands, swearing by my sorrow that a young girl ought to stand a better chance. And may I work this mill just as long as I am able, and never meet the man whose name is on the label. It's me and my machine for the rest of the morning, for the rest of the afternoon, gone, and the rest of my life.
you wish you didn't have to work in a factory. But when it's all you know how to do, that's what you do.
An organizer is someone who brings in new members. You try to build an organization that will give people the power to make the changes. I put together a fairly solid organization of rural people in Pike County to stop Bethlehem Steel from strip mining. I had to tell people again and again that they had the stuff for the job, that it's possible to win. You see, most people in their guts don't really believe it. Nobody believed we could stop Bethlehem Steel, but see, all that people really wanted was a park, just a place for their kids. And Bethlehem said, go to hell, we're not gonna give you a damn thing. So I got 20, 30 people together I saw as leaders, and I said, let's get that park. They said, no, we can't. I said, yes, we can. So we got enough people together, we wrote letters, we protested, until we finally got on TV. And Bethlehem caved. A couple months later, 4,000 people drove up to watch bulldozers grading down the land to make that park. You see, people become convinced there's not a damn thing they can do. I think we have it inside us to change things. I mean, all human recorded history is about what, 5,000 years old? How many people in that time have made an overwhelming difference? 20? 30? But see, that's the problem with history. It's written by college professors about great men. But that's not what history is. History's a hell of a lot of little people, men and women, just like you and me, getting together and deciding they want a better life.
I could have been what I could have been. I could have been something.
I wanted to be a writer.
Professional golfer. Own a little farm.
If what I could be had been left to me, I could have been something.
But then I got married.
Then the kids came along.
Then my dad took sick.
A tower of strength, a center of power. At $10 an hour.
There's always a stumbling block. I was gonna work for a year, buy me a car, head west. Well, I met the wife, and it kind of changed my plans. You never know what you would have did.
If I could have done what I could have done, I could have done big things.
With some luck to do what I wanted to, I could have done big things.
Swam a few rivers,
Climbed a few hills.
Paid all my bills.
Now it's just dreams that I'm stuck with, and hell, that ain't a lot to show.
I haven't gotten far from the starting line, but deep down inside where it counts, I know that if I could have gone where I could have gone, I could have gone far away.
Far as I could go, I could have gone places.
I could have gone far away.
just let me go. I was raring to go. When I was raring to go. Back then.
If they had just let me go, God only knows, God only knows what I could have been, what I could have been, what I could have been, what I could have been,
I could have been someone.
what I could have been.
Could have been someone. I could have been someone. I could have been
It's a pretty good day, Langston. You get interested in what you're doing, and you usually find the clock the other way. You're not looking for quitting. You're wondering, you haven't gotten enough done, and it's almost quitting time. There's not a house in this country I haven't built that I don't look at every time I go by. And if there's one stone crooked, I still notice it. The people or what lives there might not, but I do. Stone is my business. Stone is my life.
He builds a house with his hands. 30 years go by, it stands. It stands where nothing stood. A house of stone. The mason sleeps real good. He does his workday flies. Quitting time's a big surprise. And then it's one more stone to get just right. There's always one more stone before the night. Every house he builds, every stone he lays, it's not just making money and counting off the days.
I daydream all the time about stone. Someday, I'm gonna build me a stone cabin down on the Green River. Everything's stone. I'm gonna build stone cabinets in the kitchen. I'm gonna build a stone front door. That's gonna be very heavy. All my dreams seems like they got a piece of rock mixed up in them.
Builds a house with his hands. 100 years go by, it stands. It tells you who he was. A life goes fast, but the work a mason does, it's made to last. The work a mason does.
There's nothing on this earth that's gonna last forever. But with stone, you're getting pretty close.
It's made to last.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Did you see his notice in Variety? Yeah, that goes incredible. Yeah, all right. can't relax. Because when you ask a guy, what does a press agent do? You force me to look back and see what a fakakta life I've had. My hopes, my aspirations, and what I did with them. What being a press agent does to you. What I've wound up with? Rooms with clippings and a case of colitis. But what I think has been my main problem, the inability to say no. The insistence on being a part of everything. The fear you're gonna miss something. One psychiatrist said to me, a guy with one ass can't ride 2 horses. Being a publicity man is a confession of weakness. It's for the people who don't have the guts to get attention for themselves. You spend your whole life telling the world how great somebody else is. In this work, you don't build anything. If I had a mom and pop candy store and build it up into a bigger store, I might have sold it for $1 million. Who would I sell my clippings to?
Good evening, my lords. What's exciting at the bar that I can offer? It'd be very boring if I had to say, would you like a cocktail? So I come out different. For my own enjoyment, I say, what's exciting at the bar that I can offer, my lords? Or something. Maybe with cocktails, I give him philosophy. They have coffee, I give him political science. I have an opinion on every single subject there is. My bosses don't like it, so I have to speak sotto voce. But if I get heated, I don't give a damn. I speak like an Italian speaks. I have to be a waitress. How else does the world come to me? Everyone wants to eat, everyone has hunger, and I serve them. I give service, I cannot be servile, there is a difference. I get intoxicated by giving service. It becomes theatrical, and I feel like Matahari, and it intoxicates me. I'm on stage. The cinemas don't care when they put down a plate. There's a sound, not with me. When they move a chair, it'll scrape with a grate on the ground, not with me. I will have my hand right when I place a glass. Notice how I stand right as customers pass. Serve a demi-tasse with a gesture so gentle. I'll do it again till it's near Oriental. It's an art to be a fine waitress, to see that you pleasure each guest. There's a twist to my wrist when I bring your steak in, and watch how I take in your liver and bacon. It all needs to be stylish and smart. That's what makes it an art. I remember one day, as I do now and then, I had shaved. Tray full of coffees and cordials and cakes. Down I went, but I kept my poise, not when guests heard me fall. Never made a noise, not when noise, food and all. If you have to crawl, you give on what they like. You carry a tray like it's almost ballet like. La 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 la. It's an art to be a fine waitress. Each evening I treasure the twist. Like tonight was a fight, cause they hired this busboy, this clothes all a must boy, and guess heard him cuss. Boy, did we have a quick heart to heart. Even that is an art. Tips! Ha! Tips are important to people like captains and barmen. For them, it's a tipsy. For me, I'm a gypsy. Just toss me a coin, and I suddenly feel like I'm Carmen. Woo! So on to the ulcer, the backache, the hot, sweaty feet. On you go. Through is your nice dulcer, and madam wants what? With her meat. On you go. 2 a.m. approaches. The hey, you're terrific. How come you're just a waitress? You know what I say to them? I say, why don't you think you deserve to be served by me? It's an art, it's an art to be a fine waitress without leisure or rest.
Could I have a check, please?
So I do
Miss,
to the room
please
with the flair.
bring some more of these.
No one else has, I swear, no one else has my lilt
Miss,
when I
miss,
say I'll come.
to go.
It gives me a glow.
Miss,
Every time I prove I'm a pro.
miss, hurry up, miss.
Maybe I'm not quite
Miss.
Michelangelo.
And a bag for my
But
dog.
I'm not just a waitress.
You were great.
I'm a After 16 years here, I went on a trip to Hawaii. Went with my lover. My eldest daughter said, act your age. I said, honey, if I were acting my age, I wouldn't be walking. Not after 16 years here.
I worked for them over 16 years, and overnight, they let half of us go. It's now known as Black Thursday. They told us to clear out, to leave. That's all, no goodbyes. One guy broke down and cried right there. What did I do wrong? I've done a great job. Please don't do this to me. My daughter gets married in 1 month. How am I going to face people? All of a sudden, nobody calls. You go out and start visiting friends, but they're all busy with their own work. They don't have time for you. This is a psychological... I don't want to get into it.
It was a year ago last November, and I'm still looking. You just have to fight your own way, which I've done my whole life.
I mean, don't get me wrong. In this economy, I'm lucky to have to work at all. But sometimes I wish... I just wish I knew what it's like to work outside. That must be nice.
I used to pick lettuce. According to my mom, I was born on a cotton sack out in the field because she had no money to go to the hospital. We used to migrate from California to Arizona and back and forth. The things I saw shaped my life. I started picking crops when I was 8. I mean, I couldn't do much, but every little bit counts. Every time I would get behind on my chores, I would get a carrot thrown at me by my parents. But I would daydream. I'd picture my mom living in the same place, all at the same time, being admired by the people in her community. All of a sudden, I'd be brutally awakened by a broken carrot in my back. After my dad died, I would go into my mom's tent and see her crying. When I asked her why she was crying, all she would say is things would get better. But the day she thought would get better never came. Not for her. If people could see winter ice on the fields, in summer picking watermelons in 105 degrees, you know, when people have lettuce or melons or cucumbers or carrots, they don't know how it got on their table. I would love to take busloads of people out into the fields and into the labor camps. Then they would know how that fine salad got on their table.
Un mejor día vendrá, un mejor día vendrá, cuando Dios a los pobres un lugar dará, cuando madura la tarde. Cansado a mi hogar y soñando en un futuro olvido perdidas en las palabras que el viento me trae, un día mejor vendrá. Un mejor día vendrá, un mejor día vendrá, cuando Dios a los pobres un lugar dará. ¿Dónde se ha ido mi vida? ¿Dónde se ha ido mi juventud? Perdidas en las palabras que el viento me trae, un día mejor vendrá. Un mejor día vendrá, un mejor día vendrá, cuando Dios a los pobres un lugar dará.
You go in there, and it's dark. Smoke's pouring out of the goddamn building. It all happens really fast. I feel this tremendous heat to my left. I turn around, and the whole fucking room is orange. Yellow. You can just feel the heat and see orange. The lieutenant and the other firemen got the ladder up, and they saved 2 people. But downstairs, there was a guy trying to get out the door. They had bolts on the doors. He was burned dead. Know what the lead man said?
Shit, we lost the guy.
You saved 2 people. How would you know a guy sleeping on the pool table?
Yeah, but we lost the guy.
I always wanted to be a fireman. A lot of guys want to be a fireman. It's like kids. Everybody's still a kid inside. Guys 40 years old, still like kids inside, except they started losing their hair and don't screw so much. I used to be a cop. Know why I switched to fireman? I liked people. And sometimes when I was a cop, I would feel the hate coming into me. I remember one time I went to the roof of this project, and there's this big black guy, about 6'7", at the top of the stairs. He had his back to me. I said, "Hey fella, turn around." He said, "Yeah, wait a minute." His elbows were moving around his belt. I said, "Turn around a minute." It dawned on me that he had a gun caught in his belt, and he was trying to get it out. I said, "God damn." So I took out my gun, and I said, "Hey, asshole, I'm gonna shoot." He threw his hands up against the wall. He had his thing out, and he was trying to zip up his fly. And there was this girl standing in the corner, which I couldn't see. So there's this guy getting a hand job, and maybe a lot of guys would have killed him. I said, "I could have killed you." He started shaking, and the gun in my hand was shaking like a bastard. And I said, "Just get the hell out of here, man." So I took the fire department test in 98, got called in 99. You know, the country's screwed up, the world's messed up. But firemen, You actually see them produce. You see them put out the fire. You see them come out with babies in their hands. Even you see them give mouth to mouth when a guy's dying. You can't get around that. That's real. I worked at a bank before. It's just papers, you're looking at numbers. That's not real. But as a fireman, I can look back and say, I helped put out the fire. I saved someone. Someone could be born because of me. Someone could grow old because of me. It shows something I did on this earth.
He had a very good day today. We went down to the senior center just a mile away. Some days he only wants to stay at home, but today he was visited for a little while. You should have seen him dance. They were playing Spanish music. He's a ham, he likes to make the nurses smile. Some days he can't remember who I am, but today he was lucid for a little while. And through it all, I take his pulse, I change his clothes. Where are his children? Heaven knows. Doesn't pay much, but I get through because I do the work that no one else will do.
She had a very good day today. We went to a nearby park where she likes to play. She's only 5, but she can do it all. And today we took her scooter for a ride. You should have seen her glide, and I was terrified. I spent the afternoon just running by her side. The sun came down and then I took her home. Her parents work late, I tuck her in each night. And I sing, Mahal kita, minamahal kita, mahal na mahal kita, till she's asleep. She says I love you, and I love her too, while I do all the work her mother doesn't do.
I have a family of my own.
I have a daughter back at home.
I send whatever I can spare,
with no one singing her to sleep.
and sometimes I close my eyes and imagine I am there. He had a very good day today. We went down to the senior center just a mile away. One day my dreams are gonna all come true.
For now I do what no one wants to do.
For now I do what no one wants to do.
You know what I always wanted to do? I wanted to play the piano. That's what I really wanted. And I'd write songs and things about my life growing up in the South and my mama and grandmama. Now I got my own beautiful daughter, and I've got plans for her. So I leave my house every morning and go scrub rooms up at the Marriott. And at night, I come to this office and it's scrubbing again. For generations, that's all we've done, scrubbing. My grandma, my mama, and me. But my daughter, she ain't gonna do no domestic work. I aim to be the end of that particular line. Mama worked just like her mama before her. Domestic working was their trade. They was laundress, cook, and living help. There's a girl, babysitter, and a hotel maid. They work 6 days a week, all day long, and never could get out of bed. Those were the days when the minimum wage was anything you could get. They was cleaning women without faces.
They was coming and going on a first name basis.
Talking to somebody who knows.
Somebody who knows.
And after too many years,
Lord,
I don't wanna be a woman laundry room.
Oh, no.
I wanna pick up now another broom one of these days.
One of these days.
Just wanna sleep till noon. All day long I'm thinking my kids is in the street somewhere. But the folks up in the rooms don't think you're thinking half the time. Always talking around you like you ain't even there.
all day
It's getting something to my
Something to my mind,
Got a daughter with her head on her shoulders and pretty as a picture too.
No, she ain't gonna
hide behind closed
Oh, no.
doors, scrubbing floors like her mama do. If my legs don't give out and my back holds up, I'm gonna make her a better day.
Oh, one of these days.
You'll never see her getting down on her knees unless she's down there to pray. No more
Cleaning women
without faces.
No, no, she's gonna walk in on a Miss last name basis.
She'll be the first in this family.
She'll be the first in this family
to have a face you can see.
Lord,
She ain't gonna be stuck in no laundry room.
Oh, no.
She'll be pushing her own broom.
someday, as long as she can get up singing her own tune.
For me that day.
For
me that day.
For me that day.
Come too
That day can't come.
Can't come too soon. I come from 4 generations of cleaning women. But my daughter, she's a whole new generation. That's what we got coming up today. A whole new generation.
Hi, I'm Ralph Werner. I'm 19 years old. I ran a mutual fund for the students at my school. You know, my father, he actually ran his own investment firm. I guess that's where I learned. He runs a hedge fund, you know. Those are the guys that are always getting caught defrauding their investors. But we studied ethics at school, so I'm sure I won't have any problem. Speaking of school, I'll be going to business school. Kellogg, naturally. See, what I really wanted to be was a professional golfer. But realistically, I'll probably be an entrepreneur. Oh, then I'll start a family, of course. My quote-unquote dream girl would have long brunette hair. She wouldn't have to wear a lot of makeup because she's going to be naturally pretty. And I want her to have a lot of personality. Because when I'm 30 and we're moving up the ladder, there's going to have to be a lot more than just looks. At first, she'll probably be working. But after our first child, she'll stay home. Oh, and she'll be a good mother too. I hope to have 3 children. 2 boys and 1 girl. I would love to live in a colonial house. Possibly one that leans toward a Mediterranean style. And maybe it could even be backing right on the golf course so me and my wife can play golf whenever we want. Huh. I never thought of that. I hope my wife can play golf.
My name is Charlie. I'll be 20 in 3 weeks. So I got my first job in the newsroom at Chicago paper. I went down to the paper and talked to the editor. Told him I was trying to be a journalist. He liked me. I had time. Coming to work for me was a kind of missionary kind of thing. I was enjoying my job because I was answering phones most of the time. See, at this stage of the game, I was in a very spiritualistic mood. I was bringing organic walnuts, organic raisins, and just giving away everybody. And when I was calling, I would, if they had a problem or they were complaining, I'd just tell them, it's fine. Just call up the editor. Or come down and take over the paper. A lot of people responded to all these suggestions. But the editor, he calls me into his office. And he's like, blah, 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 blah! I'm gonna take a baseball bat and smash his head in! I mean, he's a nice person. I like him a lot. I don't think I would get any pleasure from getting a 50 caliber machine gun and watching his body shatter to pieces. But my fantasy yellow paper, my fantasy yellow spring out the paper was getting a gun and shooting them. Or getting a gun, walking into the other's office and saying, okay, how do you face your death? I've been thinking for months. What will I do when I get fired? I mean, I have to do something to show them, hey, I'm better than you assholes. I'm getting fired because I'm different. I had to think fast. So I looked at the air. I said, I hope you can live with the conditions you're creating. I just turned and walked out and started to cry. And the editor, he hurries after me. He says, wait a minute. I'm not the one creating these conditions. You are. I said, no! No, I'm not the one who has the power. You're the one who has the power. Now I've got myself in unemployment. They were nice to me the first few times. Then this woman tells me to get a number. I'm going to tell her, screw you! I can wait outside your apartment and knock you on the head and steal your money. But it's very nice. And I like being better. I'm a pacifist.
I heard a lot of songs say where you going, my son. Now I know they're true. Boy, you never stop to think how fast he has run. Now they're taking you. I remember you was 3.5. Your mom and me, we'd sit there after things got quieted. We'd laugh at some new word you said, how tough you were to get to bed, and we'd plan the night away, plan for our kid. I was your hero then. I couldn't do no wrong as far as you were concerned. You thought I was the best of men. The tables hadn't turned. You hadn't learned how little time it takes. And daddies make mistakes. It seems to me that lately I've been thinking a lot. I think about my dad. Lots of funny things come back I thought I'd forgot. Now they make me sad. High school and it used to be, I didn't want him touching me, and I shuddered if he did. Further back to summer nights, baseball games beneath the lights, and sleeping in the car, my daddy and his kid. He was my hero then. He couldn't do no wrong as far as I was concerned. I thought he was the wisest and the strongest and the best of men. The tables hadn't turned. I hadn't learned how little time it takes, and everybody breaks. This may sound square, but my kid is my imprint, you know what I mean? This is why I work. Every time I see a smart young guy walking by dressed real sharp, I'm looking at my kid. You know what I want? I want my kid to tell me he's not gonna be like me. I want him to look at me and say, Dad, you're a nice guy, but you're a freaking dummy. Hell yeah. If you can't improve yourself, you improve your posterity. Otherwise, life ain't worth nothing. I'm sure the first caveman who went on the other side of the hill to see what was over there, he didn't go there wholly out of curiosity. He went there because he wanted to get his son out of that cave. I heard a lot of songs say, where you going, my son?
Where you going?
Now I know they're for real. Boy, you never stop to think how fast he has run, and the things they steal. Now it seems I always knew why I do the things I do and the things I never did.
I do the things I do.
Why I work my whole damn life so I can give a better life than the one my dad could give me. I give it to my kid. You think about a piece of work. Even let's say Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel, this beautiful work of art. But what if he had to create it 1,000 times a year? Don't you think that would dull even Michelangelo's mind? You know what I would like? I would like to see a building. Say the Sears Tower. I would like to see on one side of it a foot-wide strip from top to bottom with the names of every person who's ever worked in or on that building. All the names. So when a guy walked by, he could take his son, take his daughter, and say,
yep. See that building.
I was the one who did the design.
I was the one who drafted the plans.
Every detail and every line. See that building.
I ran the crane that lifted the beams.
I was the guy who worked up above.
Look at those bricks are mine.
Every detail and every line. See that building. See that building.
40 flights up, I scratched my name.
See that building.
I'm a staff, I work as a guard.
I clean the floors and I clean them good.
People don't know my job is hard.
See that building.
5 days a week I work at a desk.
I work the books.
I handle the mail.
9 on the dot, I punch my card.
See that window.
Up on a left and from the top.
See that window.
Count from the left.
1, 2, 3, stop. That's where I work. Everyone should have something to point to, something to be proud of.
Look what I did. See what I've done.
I did the job.
I was the one.
Everyone should have something to point to, something to be tall in the crowd. Proud. See that building day after day after day after day. That's where I put myself on the line. That's where I sweat to earn my pay. See that building.
That's where I put the food on our plates.
That's where I live the piece of my life.
Where I can bring my kids and say, see that building.